I tell this to all my customers. I'm like, guys, you need to make SOPs, but you don't make them yourself. Teach it to someone of your employees first and let them make it, because they're the beginners and it's the beginners who need to learn how to do something. So it's better to make someone else do it.
This is Marcel, and I've known Marcel since during Mind Valley University. I think we geeked out about like Notion and Obsidian and Second
Oh,
Brains,
pretty
and
sure.
yes, that was pretty fun, and we kind of like got really nerdy about this, and like our friendship developed from there. We started kind of like working on smaller projects together, and we always had this idea. It's like eventually we're gonna work together. Like you were working your job at some point, and you
Hmm.
wanted to quit, and during that time I was like being a solopreneur. Then I had a job, and you were a solopreneur, and now
True.
we finally at this stage
The
where we are
line.
both kind of working on our own projects, and we decided to work together. And Marcel is one of the smartest people I know. He systematizes everything. He's so
Hmm.
organized, and also kind of the way that he takes care of people. Like there's so much love, so much care, so much empathy. So I really like the way you like talk with people, you communicate, you make them feel safe, you give them space to like breathe.
Thank you.
I think a mutual friend of ours calls you like Mr. Holding the Space.
Hmm.
And so, how about you tell us a little bit more about your experience, where you're coming from, what you've been working on, and then we can jump into the template.
Yeah, sure. So my experience. I am Marcel. I have quite a techie background, but I think I have this unique combination of being pretty technically advanced, but I also can sort of talk to people. And it's rare
That's
in
rare.
it's rare. I've done theater, I've done drumming, and I've also done software development. So I studied computer science engineering, worked as an IT consultant at KPMG, worked as a software engineer at a small company there, and there they used to call me the least developer of the developers. So I think that sort of tells you a little bit about me. And yeah, and now I'm here. I'm teaching a lot about AI, about organizing, combining the best of humanity with the best of technology. So
For context, like Marcel hasn't really seen the template like before this call. So we had like 30 minutes where I just like pushed him in the cold water, and he's like, what's happening?
it's the best. I tell this to all my customers. I'm like, guys, you need to make SOPs, but you don't make them yourself. Teach it to someone of your employees first and let them make it, because they're the beginners and it's the beginners who need to learn how to do something. So it's better to make someone else do it.
And that's what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
how about you share your screen and you walk us through the project part of the template?
This is where everything is happening, but today we are focusing on a specific part, the project part. So let's imagine that we had our customer success team and now we need to actually deliver on the promise. So what are we going to do? We're going to start a project. So I'll open up this project tab and we see immediately we got our team members. These are all our superstars. Lukas showing me this. I love this, seeing actually pictures of everyone who was in here. I'm like, oh, this is cool, because then you, especially if you work online, if you work with a lot of VAs, you don't see them very often. They're just kind of working in the background. So just having a picture of everyone, I think that's a super cool detail. So I'll open Thales here, and so you can imagine that this is coming from the customer success team. So they had a bunch of meetings here beforehand, and all these meetings ended up here automatically transcribed. This is a summary generated by AI. So me as a project team, I'm someone else than the people who they were talking to before. I know what's going on. I know what they have been working on. I know what Talis is worried about, or what specific little things he wants when we're starting to actually deliver on our promises. I can use this as my homepage, so I can open this as a full page. This looks to me like this is my workspace for me as a person, because when I go back to the homepage, this would be what, as a company owner or as a founder I see, because these projects, they show up here, so I can see, well, okay, Marcel is working on this thing for Thales. Give Thales what he deserves, only the best. I see that it's starting now, so I might be like, hey, what's up, Marcel? Are you figuring everything out? How are you doing with it? And I can follow up on him. I've thought about this for so long. Like, I want something that tells me when I'm just spending all my time on, I don't know, writing cool AI tools, instead of actually posting to Instagram and making sure that people know what I'm doing. I've made some really cool things recently, and I should make a YouTube video about it. But this shows me that I've spent a lot of time on this Team Unity thing, and I've not been writing my newsletter. So, oh well, now it's dark mode. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, and now it's normal.
No,
So if
during
you're
the
using
day.
Notion in white mode, like I will judge you.
Bro, white mode supremacy. During the day, you need light mode because it's day and you need light. Anyways, this is how you deliver projects. You get the client in, you assign your team member, then you plan the project and the tasks with your team member. You keep the overview on this homepage. You see what everyone's working on at all time. You see how it's contributing to the greater picture. And then I can go into my page and I can see what's going on for me. I can see what meetings I have. I can see what tasks I have, what projects I'm working on. So everything is very easily visible and easy to find. That's how I understood it.
Bro, like you have such a quick understanding of things. So I think it's because you have worked with projects before a lot and you kind of like understand where things are coming from. And like I wanted you to just like be able to jump in without a lot of context.
Yeah, I really like how much information is visible here. And if I go back even to the project tools that we were using, even if you think about ClickUp or Jira or something like that, it really doesn't it doesn't span as far as what you're saying into where are my leads coming from or that connection between the CRM and the project. Usually you might have a pipe drive, which is a really good CRM, but then for delivery it gets a little messy and kind of difficult to deal with it. It's so cool to, let's say I'm someone who's doing the actual project, to look at what was going on with that lead before. Like, they don't need to send me a handover document.
This is the thing that we're trying to build to really improve communication between the teams and make it simple.
But a fun exercise. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So next time, I think we're going to go a little bit deeper on how to set up projects, how to manage these different tasks, how to kind of like see the data from sales to project management, and we'll dive deeper if necessary. I'm a big fan of just keeping it as simple as it possibly can
Yeah.
be and like continuously deleting the things that are not necessary. Marcel,
Nice.
it's a pleasure. I'm going to see you next week again.
Next week.
Enjoy.